Hi, Zach. You know, Mommy showed me the most wonderful shot of you being Superman, running through the house with your Superman outfit and your cape, and hearing the Superman music. Da, 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 da. And there you went. Well, today, I'm going to tell you about another superhero. He has a name that your mommy was thinking of maybe using for you. Instead of Zach, she thought she might use Max. But I like Zach better. Don't you like Zach? Me too. Well, I'm going to tell you about this superhero named Max. He looks kind of like you in his outfit, doesn't he? Yeah, okay. This is by Lawrence David. And the illustrator in this is Tara Callahan King. Oh, it looks like we have a school here. And we're going to see Zach at his locker. Okay. Recess! Ms. Slumber called to her class of second graders at Happy Hollow Elementary School. The kids scrambled out of their seats and put on their coats and jackets and ran outdoors to the schoolyard. Only Max Pilner trailed behind them. Oh, so I wonder why Max trailed behind them. Let's see if we can find out, Zach. Oh, look at all the kids. Max watched as his classmates dashed about. Some kids played giant bug attack and stomped and clawed and buzzed. Some kids played wild animal land and squealed and clucked and roared. Some kids played Happy Hollow Hospital and yelled and moaned and made siren noises. Ms. Slumber gave Max a pat on the back. It's not easy being in a new school, is it? Max thought of his old friends and the games they played at recess. Was it hard for you, Zach, when you went to school for the first time and you didn't know anybody? It was hard, yes. Well, it's hard for Max, too. He has to get to know people at his new school. Let's see what happens. Oh, look at that. It's a big wind blowing things around. Max wandered off to the far side of the playground and shut his eyes. He did 10 electric turnarounds. Oh, that's Max. Then opened his eyes and whispered the magic words the kids at his old school said when they played. Biffle wiffle, Max said. There was a gigantic flash. There was a crashing boom. Max was no longer Max Pilner, second grader at Happy Hollow Elementary School. No, Max Milner had become Captain Crusader! Oh my gosh, isn't that fun? Turning into a superhero. Oh, let's see what happened next. Captain Crusader flew high in the air and saved a plane from crashing into a mountain. Captain Crusader swam deep beneath the ocean and saved a school of fish from a shark. Captain Crusader used his supersonic beam to catch the Evil Weevil gang and put them in jail. Recess is over, Ms. Slumber yelled. Time to come in. Max looked around. All the other kids were laughing as they returned to the classroom. Max slowly followed them and took his seat. Oh, Why do you think the kids were laughing? Was it because they were having fun? Yeah, I hope so. Let's see what happens next. Ooh. Class, Miss Slumber announced. Next week, on Halloween, we will dress in costumes and have a spooky celebration. At the end of the day, we'll vote for the most exciting costume. All the kids whooped and cheered. Max sat quietly at his desk, a small smile spreading across his face. Why do you think he's smiling, Zach? Do you think he's going to come as Captain Crusader for Halloween? Let's see. That entire week after school, Max and his older brother Billy worked hard making Max's outfit. Oh, I wonder if he's going to go as Captain Crusader. That would be fun. Let's see if he's going to be a superhero for Halloween. On Halloween, the kids dressed in their costumes. Some kids were ghosts. Some were cats. Some kids were ninjas. And there was even one kid dressed as a llama. Ah, a llama, Zach! Like in Llama Llama Mad at Mama. Oh, that could be fun for Halloween. Well, let's see Max. When Max entered the classroom, everyone stopped talking and stared. Ms. Slumber smiled. And who is this? I don't recognize him. Max faced the class. I'm Captain Crusader, he said. I have many powers. I fight villains and save animals and people from calamitous disasters. Wow, Anne-Marie said. Cool, George said. Neato, Brad said. Max's classmates clapped, and at recess, they asked him to join in their games. Oh, Zach, I think they liked him as Captain Crusader, don't you? Yeah, let's see. Out on the playground, Captain Crusader chased giant bugs back into their dark caves, saved animals from a raging forest fire, and used his supersonic beam to cure all the patients at Happy Hollow Hospital. Back in the classroom, Max won the award for the most exciting costume. How special! He won a prize. Oh. Let's see what happens the next day. The next day, Max woke up, put on his Captain Crusader costume, and headed downstairs to the kitchen. Max's dad gave him a puzzled look. Max, Halloween was yesterday. You're not having another party at school, are you? No, I just like being Captain Crusader, Max told his dad. You don't have to wear the costume to be Captain Crusader, Billy said. Max took his seat and began eating his cereal. But without my costume, how will the kids know I'm Captain Crusader? He asked. Oh, that's a puzzle, isn't it, Zach? How will they know he's Captain Crusader if he doesn't wear his costume? Oh, well, let's see if you're right. As Max walked to school, a strong wind tore the star from the center of his mask. Max was so busy thinking about all the games he'd play, he didn't even notice. During recess, Captain Crusader swooped down and carried campers away from a swarm of humongous bees. When Max went to play Happy Hollow Hospital, the kids just stared at him. "Halloween is over," Andy said. "No one's wearing a costume anymore." "I can still be Captain Crusader," Max explained. "We don't need a superhero today, but you can be a doctor," Brad said. Max frowned, then ran off to play on his own. Oh, gee, doesn't Max want to play games with the other kids? Do you think, Zach, that maybe he should put his Captain Crusader costume away for a while and play what the other kids want to play? Me too. As Max walked home from school, rain began to fall. The paints on his costume smudged and dripped onto the sidewalk. Max was so busy thinking about all the games he'd play the next day, he didn't even notice. The next morning, Max's father served him breakfast. "Don't you think it's time to put Captain Crusader's outfit away?" he asked. Max shook his head and poured syrup on his flapjacks. "Captain Crusader has to help save his friends from vicious bugs and wild animals." Well, do you think Max's daddy had a good idea that he should put his costume away for a while? Me too. During recess, Captain Crusader saved one kid from the woolly caterpillar. When Max went to play Wild Animal Land, the kids said they didn't need a superhero. "Maybe you can be a monkey or a lion," Anne-Marie said. Max frowned. "Captain Crusader can't be an animal. He has to save everyone." He flew to the far side of the playground and was so busy racing to the moon, he didn't notice when his cape caught on a branch and tore. Oh my goodness. His costume is sort of flying away, isn't it, Zach? He doesn't have much left. Let's see what happens. The next day, during recess, Max went to play Giant Bug Attack. But the kids didn't need a superhero that day. "The costume's dirty," Edith said. "Why can't you be a beetle?" George asked. No one else wanted to play with Captain Crusader either. Max frowned. "But I'm Captain Crusader!" he shouted. Captain Crusader charged into the giant bugs, knocking kids into the bushes. Captain Crusader charged into the animals, pushing kids into the swings. Captain Crusader charged into Happy Hollow Hospital, shoving kids to the ground. Mrs. Slumber called Max in from recess. She told him to sit with his head on his desk. She made a call to Max's father to tell him what had happened. Oh dear. Oh dear, 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 Zach. I think Max did a bad thing by pushing people and shoving them to the ground. That wasn't nice, was it? No. Oh, let's see what Max's daddy says to him, okay? The next morning when Max got up for school, the Captain Crusader costume was gone. He ran downstairs to the kitchen. "What happened to my clothes?" he asked his father and brother. "No more costume," Max's dad said. "From now on, Max Pilner is going to school, not Captain Crusader." Max frowned. His dad took him upstairs to change into plain jeans and a plain shirt. I don't think Max liked that. Max frowned. Can you frown, Zach? Let me see you frown. Very good. Okay. Let's see what happened without his costume. During recess, the kids played their games while Max hid behind an oak tree. When he finally peeked out, he saw all the kids laughing. Max had an idea. He got down on his hands and knees and began crawling across the yard. "Hey, what's Captain Crusader up to?" George asked. "I'm not Captain Crusader right now," Max replied. "What are you then?" George asked. Max thought hard. "I'm half a beetle and half an ant. I'm a blant," he answered. George looked at Max and moved just the way Max did. "I'll be a blant too." Max and his classmates scampered across the playground and played their buggy game. Max hadn't known being a blant would be so much fun. So, Max did something different besides being Captain Crusader. He played what some of the other kids like to play, using their imagination to be different things. Max Pilner walked home from school that day in his plain jeans and his plain shirt. When he stepped in some mud and got his sneakers dirty, he didn't even notice. He was too busy putting his arms in front of him, pretending to be an elephant with a long trunk. He thought it would be fun to play Wild Animal Land the next day with his friends at school. What a good story! Wasn't that one fun? Going from a superhero in a new school to being a super friend with lots of people to play with. And that's what I want you to do, Zach. To listen to other people and to let them lead the way sometimes. Okay? Have a great day. I love you.